Okay, up to the fifth aliyah of Hazinu. It's interesting that, I am doing this like aliyah by aliyah, and that's how you do it in Beit Knesset, that's how you read it. But, if you read this as like one whole flow, maybe it would make more sense, like what's going on here, like the overview of the story of this parsha, because it's quite harsh. Anyways, we're going to the fifth aliyah. If there, this is verse 29, still from Devarim chapter 32. If they were wise, they would understand this. They would reflect upon their fate. How could one person pursue 1,000 and two put 10,000 to flight, unless their mighty rock had sold them out and the Lord has given them over? For the rock is not like our mighty rock. For their rock, I guess they're meaning he means like this is like poetic way of saying the other gods of the nations is not like our mighty rock. Nevertheless, our enemies sit in judgment. For their vine is the vine of Sodom, and their field of Gomorrah. The grapes are the grapes of Rosh, and they have bitter clusters. Their wine is the bitterness of serpents, and the bitterness of the ruthless cobras. It is not stored up with me. Is it not stored up with me, sealed up in my treasuries? Vengeance is poised with me, and I'll pay at the time their foot stumbles. For the appointed day of the reckoning is near, and what is destined for them hastens. This is still talking about the Jewish people, I think, right? Because we're like not because we're rebellious, we're not listening, and we're not following God's ways. So it's still part of the rebuke. When the Lord God will judge his people, he will reconsider his servants, and when he sees that the power is increasing and none is controlled or strengthened, then he will say, where's their deity, the rock in which they trusted? Who ate the fat of their sacrifices and drank the wine of their libations? Let them rise and help you. Let them be your shelter. This is really hard to understand these verses. Like God's kind of like being sarcastic here, or Moshe Rabbeinu sort of being like, yeah, like let those other gods help you, like let's see how good, like let's see how powerful those other gods are. It's like very kind of sarcastic and bitter verses here. Okay, verse 39. See now that it is, I am the one, and there is no God like me. I cause death and grant life. I strike, but I heal, and no one can rescue from my work from my hand. These are really tough verses. All right, so that ends the fifth aliyah.